Good evening and welcome to Ringer Sports Studio. Today is Monday, October 14th, Thanksgiving Monday here in Canada, or I guess Atlantic Canada. We're broadcasting live tonight on our Monday night edition of Ringer Sports Studio, father-son duo, where you can check us out at Ringer Sports Studio on our YouTube channel, talking live professional sports, Major League Baseball playoffs, NFL action tonight on Monday, as well as Thursdays and Sundays. And then we've got college football, which is actually running Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So lots of opportunity and lots of things for us to talk about Ringer Senior and Ringer Junior as we broadcast each and every day for the most part. Yesterday, we are coming off a 5-2 day off our video that Ringer Junior had recorded, but wanted to give everybody a heads up on where we are right now. We had a little bit of a fallback on our 5% plays. We were running extremely hot at 15-2. But we've gone 2 of our last 5 5% plays. We're sitting at 17-5 for an amazing 77.3% clip over our last 22 5% plays. And then if you look at NFL for the season so far, again, this would just be on our 4 and 5% plays. We're sitting at 69% on our 4 and 5% plays. That does not count our 2 and 3, 1, 2, or 3% plays. We haven't fared out as well there. We're actually a little bit around 50% on our 1 to 3% plays. And then if you look at college football, we're running extremely hot at 71% on our 4 and 5% plays on our totals and our sides. So between our totals and our sides, that's where we're hitting the most off. And in NFL, the 69% is hitting on our sides and our props. Not faring out too well on our totals. Seems to be a lot of unders happening in NFL this year. So, but we're being crafty. We're mixing things up. We have anywhere between 1 and 5% plays that we share to the public again. So please like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel if you enjoy the content. Ringer Junior goes into the lab each and every night, coming up with some analytics and different reasons for his picks. So let's get into the action. We've got 2 things happening tonight. We've got the second part of Major League Baseball playoff game, kicking off Game 1, Cleveland Indians at the New York Yankees in the ALDS championship match. We got Rondon pitching at home against Mr. Cobb for Cleveland. So we're looking at that matchup. Ringer Junior and I each have a pick that we'd like to take on that one. I think Junior has maybe 2 picks. And then looking at the Monday night NFL action, we've got Buffalo heading into New York. New York Jets line was 2.5 for the Jets, and it's gone down as low as 1 as of this morning. So interesting couple of picks we have for that specific matchup. So we're going to kick things off in the Major League Baseball ALDS action tonight. I'm going to flip it over to Ringer Junior. What do you like in this matchup?
With my first pick here, I'm going to look at Carlos Rodon over 1.5 earned runs here. I see him probably getting up 2. In his last 5, he's gone 4, 2, 0, 2, 2. Rodon, in his last game in the playoffs, he did give up 4 runs. I believe that was against KC. And I really don't see him having that good of a game tonight. The Guardians' offense is pretty good with a lot of their guys, Kwan, Ramirez, Naylor. They're all pretty good. And I do see them probably scoring 2 runs off him early. So I do like that over 1.5 earned runs. And my other pick is going to be Juan Soto over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I do like this one because Soto is 7-11 against Cobb in his career. With 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, he's done extremely well, even though it is a lefty on lefty. I do see Soto having a pretty good game, probably getting 3, maybe 2 hits and an RBI here. So I like the over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs.
Right on. There you have it. My pick I'm leaning for is looking at Rondon pitching as well. I actually like him to go under 14.5 outs in this game. That's not making it through 5 complete. I think the Yankees are going to be anxiously waiting to get to the bullpen. They've done an extremely job in the bullpen. The Yankees have. Rondon had a rough start his first time out against Kansas City in a higher scoring affair. I think it kind of goes in conjunction with Ringer Junior's over 1.5 earned run prop that he's looking at. I can't see him getting through 5 complete or 15 outs. I'd be surprised if he got it into the 4th. I think he pitched 3 innings last time. against Kansas City. And I do think Cleveland has been struggling, put up some runs, but they've got their confidence built with that grand slam that was hit against Detroit the other day. The bats are starting to come alive a little bit. I think this is actually going to get up and over the total of 7.5 as well. I think the Yankees offense is going to break out. I think Judge is going to break out. This is his chance to prove himself. So I do think there's going to be some runs scored early here. And I do think Rondon's not going to get into 14.5 outs. It is plus money right now, 2.3. From what Ringer Jr. told me. So I'm going to go ahead and take that as a 2% play. Rondon under 14.5 outs. Moving along here. So we'll jump right into the Monday Night Football action. Tonight we've got Buffalo heading to the New York Jets. Pretty much a pick'em game. Was 2.5 for the Jets. Sorry, was 2.5 for Buffalo as the road favorite. It's moved to +1. Pretty much a pick'em here. With Rodgers coming off that big loss into Minnesota, actually blowed in not a blowout. It was actually a closer game than expected. I guess Chicago was the blowout yesterday, but last week in London, now coming back, and Buffalo's been struggling, lots of injuries. Should be a very interesting matchup. Ringer Jr., what do you like in this one?
In this one, I got two props in a side in this game. I do like James Cook over 9.5 longest reception as a running back. This is kind of a weird pick here, but he has got this in 4 of the 5 games this year. He's gone 24, 9, 19, 17, and 25. I see him probably getting 2 or 3 check down passes and him going for at least 10 yards on one of them, especially with Allen possibly being in concussion protocol, as Ringer Sr. told me earlier. I do like this over 9.5 longest rush. I'm going to look at that as a 3% play. And then 2 picks here, both on the Jets, are like Wilson over 5.5 receptions. Even though he has only got this twice, 2 out of the 5 games this year, he has got targeted a lot. Last game he had 23 targets, 13 receptions. The other game he did go over was against San Fran. I do see them possibly being down early in this game, and in his other games he had 5, 5, 4 with 8, 9, and 6 targets. So he has been getting targeted a lot. I do see him probably having six catches in this game. So I'm gonna look at that as a 2%. And I'm going to look at the Jets +1 as a 2% play as well. I do see the Jets probably winning this game at home, even though they haven't played too many good teams this year. Their 2 wins came against New England and Tennessee, and I believe coaches coming in like halfway through the season, like in their debut, ATS is 9-2 against the spread. So I do see the Jets possibly pulling an upset here at home. So I do like the +1. I'm going to take that as 2%.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Buffalo has gone 6-0 ATS in their last 6 when they've lost back-to-back games. So they don't really typically lose a third game going into this is dating back since I think 2019 is what I read earlier today. But that's contrary to what Ringer Jr. said with a new coach coming in after a coach being fired, going 9-2 ATS. So it's kind of a must-win. I think a time for the Rodgers to get ready. I think Buffalo's got too many injuries. I think Allen, I say concussion protocol. I took a big whack to the head, a little bit stunned last week. I'm sure he was concussed, even though they played it down that he wasn't. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of offensive action here tonight. I've got 3 or 4 different props that I'm going to review quickly. I do think the Jets hopefully can get up and over that total for Wilson, but I do think the Jets are going to actually move the ball and run the ball and take a lot of clock. I think Hill's going to get up and over 13.5. Rushing attempts, I think, is going to be a good one for him. I think he's probably going to run 15, 16, 17 times. If they do get a lead in the fourth quarter, they're going to milk him at least 2 or 3 per attempt or play in the fourth quarter. So that's going to be a 3% play up and over 13.5. I also like this one, Rodgers under 32.5 longest passing reception. So he's only gone over this total 1 time in his first 5 games. I know Lazard's had a 27 and maybe a 26, but it's only get up and over 1 time, over 32.5. So I do like this under 32.5 longest reception. Again, I don't think unless somebody breaks loose, if anyone's going to get it, it might be Hall out of the backfield breaking loose on a screen pass to get over 32.5. But most of the there's no real long passes coming from this Jets team. That may change tonight. Rodgers may without the head coach being there or being fired with a new guy, he might be calling some audibles for a long play. But I do like this actually as a 3% play as well. I also like Josh Allen over 34.5 rushing yards. So I think even though he might be a little bit banged up, the Jets defense is awesome. Their secondary is good. He's going to be scrambling. He's going to have to do a lot of quarterback keeps, maybe quarterback draws. If he can break out to maybe one or two 15 to 20-yard runs and then get another 5 or 6 or 7, 3 or 4 yards, he's going to get up and over this total easy. I actually like this one as a 3% play as well. And then the last one I like is actually James Cook over 75 rushing and receiving total yards. So I know he's been rushing the ball the last couple times. He's been in the 90s the last 2 times in this category. He didn't rush too well against Houston. He didn't rush too well against Jacksonville either, but they were in the Jacksonville game. They were up by 30 points. But I do like to see him getting involved in the offense early. He does get a lot of touches early. He could break out a couple passes and get up and over his total of 75.5 total rushing and receiving yards. I'm taking that as a 2% play. And then my last one is actually a lean. I think the total number of field goals is going to be up and over 3.5. So I do think there's going to be more than 3.5 field goals kicked today. I think the defenses are going to step up. We know the Jets defense is strong. I think Buffalo, if they get into red zone area, they're going to have to be kicking a lot of field goals. I actually see Buffalo maybe getting at least 2, if not 3 field goals, and the same for the Jets. I think this one's going to be around 5 field goals scored this game, and it being a lower type of score. So I'm going to lean on that. I haven't put a play in that. If I was, it would be a 2% play as well. So, Ringer Jr., anything else you have?
No, maybe some touchdown scores on Breece Hall. I do see him probably getting in the end zone, but that's no official play for me. I think I'm good.
All right, there you have it. Lots of different action tonight. Coming off, like I said, about 5-2 from our video yesterday. Overall, sitting pretty well. Our 5% plays at 17-5, still pretty hot at 77.3%. Again, only won 2 of our last 5. It does happen. Probably getting a little bit greedy on the quantity side of putting too many 5% plays in. Got a little carried away there, but still running extremely hot and doing well overall for our 4 and 5% plays. We need to pick it up on our 2 and 3% plays. Maybe our next video will give you a complete summary for transparency on where we are for each of our plays since the football season has started. So there you have it. There's our Monday night video action. We are coming in live for the first time here on YouTube. So please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. You can click the button down below. Like I said, if you haven't tuned in, it's a great opportunity to tune in. We're pretty hot on our 5% plays, and you may want to take advantage of some of that free content that we're providing. So have a wonderful Monday night and good luck. Like them and catch them.